just take in a big, deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. As you breathe in, notice how the body expands. As you breathe out, just watch the body soften. Gently close the eyes. Rather than the mind leading the breath, allow the breath to lead the mind. Notice the sensation of the breath. Notice where you feel it in the body. How many of us take the time to notice our environment, to look up from our phones, to get out of our heads, and to notice the natural wonders that surround us? And I'm here to teach you some simple techniques to feel more connected with the world around you. And the beauty of these techniques is they not only help us to appreciate nature, but they also help us to feel less stressed, less anxious in our everyday lives. But it's hard to imagine a better place to begin unwinding than in nature itself. To hike through the woods, to take a stroll in the park, to feel the wind in our hair, the sand beneath our feet, to take a dip in the ocean. There's a reason we're drawn to these things. Nature helps ground us. And these techniques will help bring you one step closer to that feeling. So we are going to begin with a short walking exercise. It's designed to just help you feel more present in your environment. So no matter where you're walking now, ideally outside, but just starting at a steady pace, whatever feels comfortable for you.
Headspace is like just a meditation one, where like you start off doing like 3 minutes and you do 10 minutes, you like build up your time, and it's like someone talking to you as if you're doing a meditation class. And it's really like, I found it useful, but I don't do it regularly. Like I just did it a bit and that helped me, and then I haven't done it a lot recently. But then I got stressed out because it kept sending me messages to do it, which was then like more overwhelming again, because I'm like, why are you telling me to do like this? Because that's actually stressful. And then the ironic thing, you have to go on your phone to do it. It's like, you have to open your phone to do this.
In terms of neoliberalism and how it's a kind of discursive and material backcloth that we all come to internalise, we also have a very particular fetishization of work. Work as the thing that is what makes a good person. And of course, at the same time, we have these bizarre things. We have the increase of the gig economy, we have 0-hour contracts, we have really insecurity with work. To matter, to deserve help, you need to be constantly performing your desire to work. You need to not speak about the material conditions of that. And even worse, you have to do that on a smile on your face. All the mental health money is kind of like focused on, well, let's either get people back to work, or if people are in work and struggling, let's give them a CBT course.
Like yesterday or the other day, I was inhaling some freshly cut grass smell and smell of blooming trees. And of course, all of this is easiest when it's spring and summer. which it is now, and I can talk like this because it is spring and I go out of my depression and anxious state more or less, and it's all, groovy now. But literally trying to be happy about the little things, like waking up, having a nice coffee, reading a nice article, going for a walk, without thinking, oh my god, I have a shit job and I have to work, 40 hours, and then I have no time for my art, or I have time for my art, but then I can't go to this person's birthday. Oh, and then I have to, that should not happen anymore. Anxiety goes and itself.
You're fraudulent, you're an imposter, you're a guilt, there's something to feel guilty of, you should feel fear. And that actually makes people ill, that makes people mad. And of course we do that alongside the meritocracy myth, fantasy, telling everyone that everything is possible for all and it's all really equal. So what does that produce? Well, it produces anger, despair, it makes people cut themselves, it makes people burn themselves, it makes people kill themselves, it makes people feel alienated, low, depressed, agitated, dissociated because life's so unbearable actually, how can one stay with it? It makes people anxious, it makes people demonstratively mad. And at this point in society, we package those emotions that really make sense if we think of that backcloth that people are around, we think about that structural disadvantage that people get from three. At this moment in history, we package that up and we label it as mental illness. It's kind of more socially acceptable to have to present oneself as having a diagnosis than go, neoliberalism fucked me up. Either it's moral failure or it's illness. If you've only got that two choice of explainers of why life is unbearable, well, of course one is going to go for the illness explanation. And it also gives access to resources and help. And there's quite a link in it between moments of dissent, moments where the conditions of people's lives, moments where people are really oppressed and beginning to speak out and get angry, where mental illness is an idea, then it gets bigger and bigger because it's shutting down and it's silencing. We have ideas of self-help that come in, then we have ideas of self-actualization. It's much easier for governments, to have the idea of mental illness than to look at the causes of people's suffering.